Kathy Perry, you want to come up and talk to us about that? All right, let me just tell you this. The answer is yes and no. Yes. Okay? Please, Kathy, speak to how many different vehicles there are in social networking. By the way, Kathy Perry is the guru as relates to social media. Okay?
Thank you.
Her job is to assess the value of social media in your business from a strategic level, up here, and identify which ones would value you.
So they're all valuable depending on your customer. Where is your customer? So part of the assessment is to determine who are you trying to market to and what's the right tool to reach them. So it is yes and no. Facebook has a certain audience demographic, and LinkedIn has a certain audience demographic, and Twitter has a certain audience demographic. And so once we define your target market and your customer, then we know which tool to use for you.
Is there a sub-tool that can service all three entities at the same time by only,
Certainly there are many of those
Did you know the
tools.
answer to the question when you asked?
No.
Oh, okay. There is a management tool to do that. That's
there are
interesting.
many management
Right.
tools, and so it
Right.
depends on, again, but there are pros and cons to using some of those management tools, so I would definitely advise people about that as well, because the worst thing you can do is blast a message out to the same audience from 3 different places, and they know that you're not personally communicating in each one of those, and it may, lower your value in their esteem. So that's one of those things that a lot of people have confusion
Thank you,
about.
Kathy. I appreciate it.
I don't hear much about Plaxo these days. Where is that on the...
Plaxo.
Anybody know about Plaxo? Who's got?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Personally, it isn't one of the most popular tools out there right now, and so what you look at is, it's just an organizational tool more so, and
Right.
so if you're trying to create an audience or a client base or communicate with a group of people, Plaxo usually isn't where they're going to be. It's more of a contact management tool, I believe, as opposed to really a communication tool.
Is there kind of an emerging life cycle to these social media outlets?
Absolutely.
The question is there a life cycle to these social media outlets? I just want to make sure everybody got the question.
And absolutely there is, and and if we all had the crystal ball, we'd know which one to be on all the time. Just like MySpace was very, very popular, and that was the tool of choice. Now it's not, and no business person is usually playing in that space because it's really for kids, or you're going to get a lot of spam. So Facebook is a tool of choice. Facebook took over that MySpace place, but a lot of it was designed for students in college or young people, and business people wanted to get into that space. But now that the mom and dad is going to the same place as the students, they're leaving. They don't want to be a part of Facebook because mom and dad and grandma is there. So, but Facebook's recognizing that, and they're saying, okay, we need to change our product, our solution to meet the new demand, which is more business, and that's why they added Facebook pages and some of the other capabilities. But it didn't start out that way. It is evolving. But the young people are moving off of that, and a new tool will come out. So my recommendation isn't that you be so tool dependent. You look at where your market is, where your audience, and don't get caught up in the tool, because there are a lot of tools. You want to just get the message out to the right audience, and the whole goal of it, social media, is make the contact, but get them back to your site. Don't keep them over in Facebook. Try to get them from those places back to you in your money site, your squeeze page, your website, or whatever. So.
Thank you.
Sorry,
I'm
we
honored.
can do a whole lesson.
I'm honored that you attended.